We've all heard about the potential features coming to the Cybertruck, direct from Elon himself, like the solar panels on the vault cover, crab walk, quad motor, having plaid mode, all kinds of features that we're expecting or hoping for. But really, we know nothing about the Cybertruck. And I'm a realist. I've been following Tesla since 2006. So I just wanted to give a little history lesson here, just to temper your expectations a little bit. I'm going to go over 5 things that were talked about for the Model 3 that never actually happened. Now, before I walk through the list, I just wanted to say that I've always thought that the single motor Cybertruck wasn't going to happen. I've said this since the beginning. I just don't think it's going to happen because history says it's not going to. For instance, with the Model S, there was supposed to be a 160-mile version that was $50,000. What we ended up getting was a software-locked, higher range Model S that was $50,000 and you could unlock it for a fee. Now the Model Y was supposed to start at $40,000 with a rear-wheel drive standard range model with 250 miles range. Later on, Elon said 250 miles just wasn't enough. They actually did sell a standard range rear-wheel drive Model Y in early 2021 for about 6 weeks. They had a range of 244 miles for $40,000, and then they scrapped that and it was removed from the menu again. So right now, off menu, they have the standard range 279 mile Model Y with the 4680 cells, but it's almost as expensive as the regular Model Y. I'm not really sure why you would choose that over the other, and that's probably why it's off menu. Now, they may unlock more range later. They did that with the first Model 3s, the rear-wheel drive. But for now, and so far, the charging isn't any better, and the range is pretty low for about the same price. I would just go with the long range. And finally, the Model 3. So the Model 3 was supposed to start at $35,000 for a base model. They did actually offer a $35,000 Model 3 off menu. It was a software limited, much like the Model S. Software limited standard range plus with some of the features deactivated, and you could unlock those for a fee. Number 1. The Model 3 standard range was originally supposed to have a solid roof. If you've ever searched for a solid roof Model 3, you probably find this picture that I photoshopped in 2016. Number 2, the Model 3 standard range was also supposed to have a simpler interior. The seats were supposed to be cloth. The dashboard was supposed to be black. They actually released a picture of the cloth seats, you can see here, but it was around this time that they actually got rid of the Model S cloth seat option, so I guess for the Model 3 they just decided to do one option. So in the end, the base Model 3 ended up just being a regular Model 3 with all the other options with just less range and a $38,000 price tag. Number 3, solar on the roof. On November 4th, 2016, someone asked Elon about a solar roof, and he said it would probably be an option. Now, as we all know, that never happened. And now there's a company called EV Solar Kits that has popped up, taking reservations for an aftermarket kit that you can put solar on the roof and then an expandable solar panel that comes out of the trunk. I guess for camping, or if you're just out in the wilderness or parked in the sun, you could pull that out and get some extra range. But as far as being built into the glass, so far that's not happening. Number 4, Ludicrous mode. The Model S performance models used to offer Ludicrous mode for maximum speed and power. In April 2016, someone asked Elon if the Model 3 would have Ludicrous mode, and he said, of course. But we all know that nothing like this has come to the Model 3 performance, unfortunately. I always wanted ridiculous mode. And finally, for number 5, air suspension. Ryan McCaffrey of Ride the Lightning asked Elon about this in August of 2017, and Elon said it would be offered when the dual motor configuration was available. Now at this time, they had just started production of the Model 3 in July of 2017. Only the long-range rear-wheel drive was being made, and the dual motor was yet to come. The dual motor option was added to the menu in July of 2018, and first deliveries were, I think, in August or September of 2018. But here we are 4.5 years since the dual motor was released, and there's still no air suspension. There may even be some more things that Elon mentioned that would come to the Model 3 that never actually happened. These are just the 5 I thought of off the top of my head that I remembered. If there are any other ones, let me know in the comments. Now, one other thing I did want to mention, I just talked about it a minute ago, was the order that the cars are released. A lot of people seem to think that all Teslas start off with the highest end, most expensive first, and that's just not true. The Model 3 started with the long-range rear-wheel drive option, and that was the only one you could get for a whole year. A year later, in July 2018, they added the dual motor and the performance model to the menu, and then about 6 months after that, they added the standard range plus. So obviously, no, the most expensive doesn't always come first. And the same may be true for Cybertruck. We don't know. Elon said the quad would be first, but that may not be the case. It may be that they don't have enough battery cells for the quad motor 500-mile range version, so they start with the dual motor. That would mean much less cells per vehicle, which means they can get more out, which means more profit and more happy customers. So the Cybertruck may not have some of these cool options that everyone is expecting just because Elon said them. He changes his mind so often. They pivot so quickly, so rapidly that, he may think he wants to add solar and then decides not to. He actually said he wouldn't add solar and then said he would add solar and then said again that he wouldn't because it didn't make sense. So in the end, we may see a solar option. We may not see a solar option. We may see GrabWalk. It may be canceled. It may have become too much of, a big deal. We may see my Midgate idea that he responded to and said that it was worth considering. We may not see that. We may see a roll-down window in the final production vehicle. We may not. It just depends on, what makes sense for manufacturing, for costs, everything else. If they can get a Cybertruck out the door at original prices by leaving out some features, I'm all for that. Or they may add the features and bump the price way up, which unfortunately would mean a lot of people are going to cancel orders. Hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but I'm a realist and I like to make sure my expectations are in check. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.